So, like I said before, we're going to be having an introduction to Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation Cloud application. And I always like that my class is interactive. It's good to listen, but it's also good to contribute as the standpoint of a speaker or a trainer. Is good that I get to hear your opinion as well and tell me if there's anything that you're not getting or you're getting or you have a question you can ask. You understand? So my I really like it from my class. It's like interactive, not just coming from me alone. So back to the topic: introduction to Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations Cloud application. So, like I said before, my name is Richards Okiemute. I'm a Microsoft Certified Trainer, and today we have the different. We're going to be looking at introduction to enterprise resource planning. Right, that's ERP. We will look at the architecture of the digital finance and operations. We will look at different deployment options, and then we will do a little bit of demo where we have to navigate through the application, look at some of the things that are actually done heavily on the application, look at it on the high level, the user interface, go into the database, just do introduction to the Visual Studio. And if there's enough time, we can just go through the LCS, which is the lifecycle operations, and we do management some of those stuff as well. Okay. So the Dynamics 365 Financial Operation is an ERP application. So the question is, what is ERP? Like, what is Enterprise Resource Planning? So Enterprise Resource Planning refers to the comprehensive suite of integrated software applications the organization use to carry out their business operations, right? Now, what this means is basically saying, imagine a very large organization, right? A large organization. People, can you think about the largest organization that you know? Like the largest organization that you can think of right now? Like a very big organization that you can just think of right now? Or anyone?
MTN.
MTN.
Apple.
Oh, Apple. Okay. Now, interesting. Those are very large organizations. Now, the reason why those organizations are large is not because of their building, but because of their presence, their footprint around different part of the world. Right? These organizations can be in Australia, can be in the United States, North America, can be in South America. Like they have different branches all over the world, right? So, different branches all over the world means they have data distributed across different part of the world, right? They have data all across the world, whether it's in their headquarters, whether it's in their branch offices, and all of those stuff. Now, the problem is that all of this data they are distributed, but they are not connected. So that's what the if you're in the data space, or maybe even in the software industry, you hear the term they call siloed systems. So those siloed systems, it means it's gotten from the agricultural terminology silo. It means those data are stored within a confines. There's no connectivity between one branch office, let's say branch office in the United States. Let's take for example now a large organization like World Bank. Like World Bank is in the United States, is also in Switzerland, and let's just assume there's another one in Nigeria. Now, there's no connectivity between these data sets that exist in different parts of the world. That's a huge problem because if, for instance, the president of World Bank, right, or the president of a large organization wants to know what is happening in Nigeria, it's definitely going to put a call through to the branch manager or the CEO, the top person in Nigeria to get those data sets and then send it to do the analysis and send it to them. That takes a whole lot of time. That brings a whole lot of if like a lot of frictions between how business is supposed to be done. So what the ERP system does is that it removes those silos, right, and brings connectivity. It creates a center point for all your data to rest upon. to store your data, create a coordination, and this coordination creates an efficient business process, right? Because why? You're able to get all this data around the world in one system, so you can carry out business analysis, you can do automation, you can see how your workers are doing, how many workers you have in Nigeria, how many you currently have. You can see your workforce, you have ideas into your workforce, like you have real-time data into your human resource, you have real-time data into your inventory, you have real-time data into different parts. Okay, so you can see that with that alone, having your data centralized, you can be able to automate finance, you can be able to know what is happening on the accounting side, you can be able to give insight into your supply chain management, manufacturing, and different part of the application of your business process. So that's really what the enterprise system, resource planning system, is actually there to do. Just like the three words say, enterprise resource planning, it gives you a 360-degree view of the enterprise, the resources, and how to plan with all of those things without wasting a lot of time. With the click of a button, you have access to your databases, you have access to different arm of your organization and the business, right? So let's go over to the benefits of using the ERP system. From what I've been explaining, we could tell that there are huge benefits when it comes to the ERP systems, right? Because you can see the ERP system is at the center of your operations. So it gives you improved efficiency. Normally, like the president of World Bank, instead of you to wait 1 month for your for the for the branch office in Nigeria to do the data analysis, prepare all those data and all of those things, and then send it to you, maybe start doing presentation. It's already available. You get into the ERP system, pull the data that you want for whatever country that you want, and you can see how they are currently doing. You can see the pull show of maybe the finance, whatever part that you're interested in. You can see that at the comfort of wherever you are, so long you have access to the internet, right? So that's the beauty of it. Now you have enhanced visibility. The same thing I was explaining about having real access to data and insight, right? Because um, it gives you good visibility into your data, so you can make easy decisions, you can do strategic planning, because why, you know the risk state of your data, right? So it also gives you better collaborations, right? It gives you better collaboration, and it's also cost effective. It saves costs. Whenever you can make business more efficient, faster, you are saving costs, right? You're saving a lot of costs. And because you can easily get access to your data, you can, if customers make what, maybe you're running a warehousing system, and then customers are making requests, you can see those things in real time. You don't have to wait for a very long time. So you are able to process customers order, and then customers are happy because you have that access to the real time data, right? So there's compliance and risk management. Compliance goes across different landscape. Compliance could be government policies. They want our data set to be stored in this country, but because it's a class system, you can decide to deploy the application in a particular region in that country, right? So it gives you the ability to make compliance. You can be compliant in terms of business government policies. You can also be compliant in terms of business policies. You can also be compliant in terms of security and the segregation of duties within the application itself, in order for you to be able to handle risks properly. Right? What I mean, for instance, you have insight into who is doing what in the application. With security rules, you're able to say that one person should not be doing the same, that does not have more responsibility than it's supposed to have. You can use RBAC um, functionality to prevent someone from carrying out fraud in the application. So you rest assured that your data and every other thing is safe and compliant as well. Scalability, that is what the cloud offers. The cloud offers scalability, and since you have your ERP application deployed on the cloud, you rest assured that it's scalable and it can respond to the increase in data set across your entire organization. If the data set is increasing, the database increases alongside with it, and the application can respond to whatever request, whatever traffic you're receiving. So that takes us to Dynamics 365 Financial Operation, right? So previously I talked about ERP. So ERP has different applications, right? We have different applications, but because we're talking about Microsoft now, what's for Microsoft? We have the Dynamics 365 Financial Operation, which is usually called D365 F&O, right? The F&O is finance and operations. So the D365 F&O is a comprehensive suite of intelligent business application within the D365 ecosystem, right? So the D365 has a large ecosystem, and if you're looking at the ecosystem, we have D365 is divided into CRM, which is the customer relationship management, and the ERP, which is the enterprise resource planning. So today we're focusing entirely on the ERP system, right? So the same thing that the ERP system does, this is Microsoft's own application, cloud application that does the ERP for you, right? So it enables businesses to manage a global financial system. The key word there you can see is global, right? So it is not restricted to just one location, right? As much as you have customers any parts as much as you have customers across any parts of the country or any part of the world, they can access the application. You have your data for all your warehouses, all your branches, everything is hosted here. Okay, so that speeds up that speeds up your operation. That gives you a lot of operational efficiency and all of those beautiful things that comes with the cloud, right? So the Dynamics 365 Financial Operation empower users to make fast, informed decisions by providing robust tools for financial management, just a second, for financial management and operational efficiency, and most importantly, supply chain optimization. Okay, supply chain optimization. So what the supply chain optimization actually means is the same thing I was talking about. You have a whole lot of chain of let's say your what's this popular um, company, Shoprite. Shoprite has different branches all over the world, or McDonald's, for instance. You can be able to tell. I want to use an example. You can be able to tell the number of burger because in each of these, you can be able to tell the number of burger in each of these in each of these um, branches, right? Because you have real-time access to data. So you can spin up maybe the one in France. You can see what is currently happening there and all of those things. You understand? So the the efficiency, the fastness, the ability for you to interact with your data in real time, the ability for you to interact with your data in real time is gives you an advantage that you would not have. It's just siloed systems. Okay, so that's a huge benefit of using the cloud application, Dynamics 365 Financial Operation cloud application. Okay, so moving on, we'll look at the different roles in Dynamics 365. Okay, now at the highest level, we have can divide the roles into the functional and the technical, right? The functional and the technical. So because if you listen to the if you look at the word itself, it's called finance and operations, right? Now it's it's an application that enables business to carry out all their activities encompassing the finance and the operation parts. Now, most of those finance and operation parts falls into the functional part. I will explain what that means because I attach a reference link to that. It falls into the functional parts. Now, let's take, for instance, I like giving the example again, World Bank. The World Bank, you have different people. You have bankers there. You have, of course, you have accountants. You have different people who have different roles. Those are the people that use the application itself to carry out different functional activities. You have managers. Those people use the application to carry out managerial activities. So the managerial activities could cut across different domains. It could cut across the accounting part. It could cut across even supply chain, warehousing, inventory, and asset management, right? And then we have the technical part. So the technical part actually has to do with people who handle the application, who handle the deployment of the application, who handles administrative part of the application, who handles the architectural part of the application, who handles the maintenance, development, and all those beautiful things as well. So at the high level, we have the functional and the technical part. So I'm going to click on this link so I can just maybe see if it's going to and see here. So if we go through, we'll see it has a whole lot of roles, right? But like I said before, at the highest level, we have the functional parts and the technical parts. So that irrespective of your background, you should know that in the D365 financial operation application, there is a place for everyone, right? There's a place for everyone. It's a whole large word on its own. So we have, if you are a software developer, there's a place for you. If you don't know how to code, there's a place for you. If you're an accountant, there's a place for you. So I'm just going to expand this, right? So we can see. Now, if you look at the different roles that we have here, you can see it talks about the roles and it talks about the descriptions, right? So the customer, now in this place, it's talking about the customer. The customer is somebody like an organization who needs to deploy, who needs to use the finance and operation application, right? And when we have a partner, the partner are people who actually who actually work with Microsoft to help other customers, right? Like other organizations to deploy the application, maintain the application, develop the application. You understand? Now, look at this part. We have the functional consultant. So this functional consultant, these roles cover people who are employed by Microsoft partners or even Microsoft themselves to implement the Dynamics 365 financial application for organizations, right? So this role itself, this functional consultant role, has a whole lot of roles underneath it, right? I will talk more. I will talk on that later. It has a whole lot of role underneath it, and the reason why I'm actually talking about this is because a lot of people just say, "Oh, Dynamics 365 financial operation. I don't know how to program. I don't think it's for me. I don't know how to code. I don't think it's for me. I don't know about databases. I don't think it's for me." But the truth is that it is a space for everyone, right? It's a space for everyone, even those who have not done tech before. If all they know is just tax, all they know is budgeting, all they know is accounting, all they know is general ledger, there's a place for you because those are what you need to be able to carry out the business operation in an organization, right? If all you do is financing, there's a place for you. You don't need to learn how to code and all those things. You have a role here. And I'm going to come back to this one because the functional consultant part is really interesting. It is actually the largest part of the application itself. Now we have solution architects. And a solution architect are employed by Microsoft or any other company, and they use their underlying technical expertise to integrate and optimize technology across the organization, tailoring solutions to meet business needs, right? So this solution architect part is actually the technical parts, right? The technical part. So the technical part actually involves integration, development. This is for people who could maybe have a background in software development, have a background as a technical support, but then decided to go deep into development or DevOps and all of those beautiful things as well. So we have the business owners. Business owners are people who have sales in Microsoft services and who like they have stake in um, purchasing of those licenses and all of those things, right? So those are like for instance, a business owner is somebody. How will I put it now? Like for instance, is interested in this Dynamics 365 financial operation business and decides to maybe be a CSP for licensing or maybe give services right to organization who use this application. So we have business analysts. We know what business analysts what they do, right? So these people are employed by the organizations, right? So they have different roles. They could be analyzing data using Power BI, using um, different reporting system. We have the SSRS reporting systems inside the application. So we also have developer. You can see that these are actually technical roles where we have developers, right? So software, these are software engineers. They help to customize the application. They also help. They can also be technical support, right? So from the customer perspective, they can be just there to customize the application to make the application better. From Microsoft perspective, they are mostly product owner, product engineers, people who actually help to build these applications to make it more better for customers all the time. So we have internal admin. So these are the Dynamics 365 financial operation administrators. So these people actually use the application to ensure the people have the right access to whatever forms, rules, the set of batch operations, and all of those things, right? So we have dedicated admins. So these are covered by people employed by Microsoft or reselling partners and all of those stuff, right? And let me go back to this part because I am actually talking about this part because of what people who I believe are not technical, but they might be interested in Dynamics 365 financial operation. So I'm going to click on this and see where it takes us to.